Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here on our YouTube channel to share with you that we have launched a podcast. That's right, we are launching our first season of the podcast that we're calling Unlock Your Wellbeing with Alisha Leytem. So much has been happening since I last posted on this YouTube channel. I have moved across the country. I've had my baby girl. She actually just turned 1. I wrote a book. The book is coming out in spring of 2022, and we are launching a podcast that we've been working on behind the scenes as well. We've been doing so much work bringing wellness workshops and speaking engagements and wellness coaching and wellness experiences for corporations and teams and leaders all across the world, actually. But I am really excited to be here and to officially unleash this podcast for you. So you can listen to the podcast on Spotify or on iTunes, or you can listen to it right here on our YouTube channel. There's going to be a new episode every Friday by 1 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be posted for you. And then once we kind of get into the groove of that, we will hopefully be able to release some official YouTube videos, behind the scenes of me just sitting down with you every now and then. So the podcast isn't going to be filmed, but you can listen to the audio, and I will be here just for you on YouTube, giving you a short little snippet of my face every week. So thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing here to our YouTube channel. You can go and subscribe on Spotify as well. You can sign up from our email list to get notifications of upcoming events and ways that we can work together as well. And you can sign up to be the first to know when our book, The 6 Golden Keys to Wellbeing, is officially available for you to purchase on Amazon. So thank you so much for being here, you guys. Enjoy the first episode, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Welcome to Unlock Your Wellbeing, the podcast that teaches you the simple keys to health and happiness so that you can grow as a human being into a well-being. And now here's your host, author, certified wellness coach, mother and wife, Alisha Leytem. Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first official episode of this podcast. And I am your host, Alisha. I'm just, super excited to be here right now, to finally be sitting down and recording this first episode. I'm also a little nervous. Even though I've been in the wellness space for just about 10 years now, this is the first time that I am launching and creating a podcast, okay? I'm also in the final stages of self-publishing my first book. So many changes and new projects that I am putting myself out there and doing. And when you do something that you've never done before, it stretches you and it grows you, and it also scares you because the unknown is scary, right? We always fear what we don't know. And so anytime you do something new, that's actually what holds a lot of people back from starting anything new, like making a change in their life, for example, because the unknown is the unknown. We don't know what's on the other side. And so this journey of, becoming a healthier, happier human, or what I like to say, helping human beings become well-beings, begins with that first step of awareness, and it requires bravery, okay? And the willingness to not get it perfect the first time or the second time or the third time, and having the awareness to be okay with showing up and doing something that isn't necessarily going to be your best the first time around. And so knowing this when you dive into something new is part of the process. And so I am just letting myself lean into this discomfort of putting myself out there in huge, big ways that I have never done before. And so welcome. Thank you for being here and tuning in and joining me on this journey of growth, which I have a feeling if you are tuning in and listening that you are also on your own journey of growth in your health, in your happiness, in your whole self, right? Your whole well-being, everything that encompasses your wellness. And like I mentioned, I have been in this wellness space for just under 10 years. We're coming up on 10 years now. And it's pretty crazy to think about. But what I have done in these last almost decade is I've really understood and have seen what makes a well human, right? Not only have I coached many, many, many people and helping them create this for themselves, but I have done this for myself, most importantly. I've done this for myself, which to me, that means I embody what it is that I teach, right? I live it, I breathe it, I am it. Okay, like I'm a walking, talking version of what it is that I am teaching that makes a well person, right? So not only have I seen and created this own change and transformation with myself, I've done it for so many other people. And so what I've done is I've taken the foundation, right? The 6 keys, I like to call them, the 6 golden keys to well-being, to help you unlock your own personal sense of well-being. Now, that's what I want to dive into for this very first episode, to just kind of set the stage for this first season of the podcast and to answer a question that I want to ask some guests that I will have on the show. I won't have a lot of guests. I do have some planned, but it's mostly going to be me sitting down with you. So hopefully you like that. But the question that I am going to be asking guests, and I want to, kick off this episode by asking myself, is how do you unlock your own well-being? What is it that unlocks that for you? And what I have done is put this answer essentially into my book that I've written, that we are in the final stages of editing, and it's going to be out in spring of 2022. Side note, so if you want to sign up for the launch list and be the first to know of when you can purchase that on Amazon, you can head to my website, AlishaLeytem.com, and sign up. But this is my answer, right? And I have really broken it down into 6 keys, right? These 6 keys are vital. And when I live and lean into these 6 daily and regularly, I have a high sense of well-being. Now, these 6 keys don't encompass every single thing about life, right? But they have the foundation, like I said, to build up upon from. So let's dive into them, shall we? Let's dive into what these 6 keys are. Now, as I begin to speak about them, I want you to bring some awareness into your own self and into your own life about which area of these keys that maybe you want to lean into a little bit more. And try not to let yourself get overwhelmed of, I have to do all of these all at once. And, if I'm not doing all of them, then I'm not where I want to be. But rather, just know that the first step to change is always awareness. And if you want to get from where you currently are to where you would like to be, then you just have to start to become more aware of the choices that have gotten you to where you are and choosing to lean into one specific key to really master and get a really good grip on before you can kind of build on from there. So just keep that in mind as we dive in. Okay, so the first key, you guys, is the gold key of sleep. Yes, sleep. This seems very basic because it is. And I think because it is such a basic habit, a basic need, a foundation that we all know we need to sleep at night, that we don't give it the attention and awareness that it deserves. Okay? When you are running on little sleep, when you don't prioritize your sleep, when you stay up too late, sleep in too late, or not even just prioritizing your sleep at all and just I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of attitude, you are absolutely depriving yourself of feeling so much better, of feeling so good and feeling rested, right? In fact, we are all living in a very, strange and stressful time in history, right? We all know it. We're all pretty stressed. And there's a lot of layers to why, but the reasons why don't matter as much as understanding how to combat the stress. And the single best thing that we can do to mitigate the negative effects of really high chronic daily stress every single day is to get enough quality sleep at night. If you do that, if you are in bed and sleeping before 10 and let yourself sleep a good, preferably uninterrupted 8 hours, okay, of deep, healing, restorative sleep, you're going to wake up and feel a million times better. Now, shout out to my new parents and mamas. I happen to be a new mama as well. I had my first baby girl a year ago, so she's a year old. Yes, I had her in December of 2020. And so I understand that we can't always all get uninterrupted, beautiful, perfect sleep like I used to get prior to having her. However, I will say that I still make my sleep a very big priority, even now as a mom who does get woken up throughout the night. I make sure to do things and make decisions that best align with me getting as much sleep as I can. So keep that in mind, right? Making those choices and decisions to, move toward my desired destination. So that's the first key. The first golden key is the key of sleep. So really prioritizing that. The second key is the key of nutrition. Yes, another, dare I say, basic wellness hack is to eat right. Again, we know these things, like this isn't anything riveting or new. However, we need to make them a very big top priority in our lives, right? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the second key of nutrition, you really are what you eat. You are what you eat. And your cells are literally made up of what you eat. And so if we are eating primarily, sugar or processed food, or food that we don't even know if it is even food, whatever this, mystery meat is, or a plant-based burger that we have no idea what it is actually made of, then we are creating these building blocks in ourselves, right? And so the best thing that you can do to improve your nutritional intake, in my opinion, is very, very simple. And that is to learn how to eat seasonally. Eat what is in season, because this is going to make a little bit more sense once I get to the later keys, but nature is very smart, right? Nature holds a lot of the keys that we need to live well. And if we can align ourselves to live more in tune with nature, everything is going to fit in so much easier for you. Okay, so eating seasonally means eating what is in season, eating what is local. This happens to improve your gut health and improves your gut microbial amounts. And this will increase and improve your gut bacteria. And what do we know about our gut health? We know that most illnesses, most diseases actually begin in the gut. And so the healthier our gut, the healthier we are. How can we improve and have a healthier gut? By improving and eating our diet. And the most simple way to do that is to eat what's in season. So ask yourself, how can you eat more seasonally? And that might be bringing awareness to what are the foods that are in season and the current season that you're listening to this, right? So right now I'm filming this. It's a cold winter day in January. And for lunch, I just made a big bowl of soup, a big pot of soup with some organic russet potatoes. It had some onions and garlic, and it had squash, a beautiful squash that was grown right here in my community that I had stored from the fall. And I had a local organic chicken that I cooked it in with ginger and spices and a bone broth. And then I made some sourdough flatbread to go along with it. So that's just an example of, some things that are in season right now in winter, which isn't a whole lot. And so that's why in winter we eat more meats and delicious broths and soups. Like, notice how your body naturally craves that in the winter, and like hearty, potatoes and beets and squashes, right? Like root vegetables that store really well and last for a long time. That's because your body knows that this is what it needs right now to thrive. So trust that. Okay. The gold key, number 3, is movement. Moving your body. Again, these first 3 I feel are very basic, but they're just so important. And we can't overlook, just because something is simple, that it's powerful impact that it can have on you isn't like massive. You know what I mean? So moving your body. And I break this down as simple as possible by just simply stating this affirmation. I move my body every day in some way. That's it. I move my body every day in some way. In some way, move your body. I want you to give yourself full permission to decide and let yourself be led to which way you would like to move your body. And that should be something that feels exciting, something that feels fun, something that feels like you want to do it. And it really, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter how you move. It just matters that you move, right? So this can be anything from walking outside to practicing yoga, which is what I did today for 15 minutes before I started my work day here in my home office. This could be snowshoeing outside. It can be lifting weights. It can be being on the elliptical. It can be qigong. I don't care. Just move it. Just move your body, and you're going to move and shift a lot of energy in your body that is going to release endorphins, and you will feel better. And this is going to improve your mood, which is a big part of our overall health and well-being, right? So just move your body. Okay. Key number 4, the gold key number 4 is nature. Like I said a minute or so ago, I deeply believe that the more aligned we are living in tune with nature, the better quality of life we are going to have. And luckily, there's a lot of research to back this kind of basic intuitive wisdom up, right? But it's just so important. And I think what's happening right now is we are living in something called a nature deficit, right? Which is actually a real thing, where people spend, 99% of their days and their life. However, listen, how you spend your day is how you spend your life. So if you spend 99% of your day inside, then you're spending 99% of your life inside. And the majority of us do that. And what are we doing when we're inside? We're on our computers. We are on our phones. We're looking at the TV. We're on a screen. So we're out of the natural world and we're into this digital world, which is fine, right? I mean, you listen to this podcast right now, like that is something digital. That's amazing and incredible. And it has a beautiful place in, the world we're building right now. However, we cannot become too removed from this earth that we are a part of. Okay. And so, even with something that is coming out like the metaverse, this, I fear, is going to take us even further away from nature and more into this, virtual world where we have this beautiful world that's right outside of our front doors, that if we were just to spend a little bit more time there, you will find what it is you're looking for by spending all that time virtually, right? And what it is you're looking for is to feel more fulfilled, is to feel inspired, is to feel like you can take on the world, right? Like you can do anything, empowered. You just feel happier. You feel like you can breathe deep. You just feel like everything is uplifting you when you spend time in nature. And this is super simple, you guys. It's just being outside. And there are some really cool things that you can do when you're outside to really, get the benefits of being out there, such as grounding or forest bathing, or breathing in the negative ions, which are all things that I can talk about in future episodes if you guys are interested, and are also in my book that's coming out in further detail of exactly how to do this. But just being outside is going to improve your well-being. Full stop, period. So go outside more. Go outside once a day. Take a breath outside, regardless of the weather. Try not to let the weather stop you. I know that that's a really big one here in the Midwest. It's like, oh, it's so cold, I don't want to go outside. But I think it's over in Sweden. They have a saying that says something like, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad clothes. So get yourself some better clothes. I know I am in that stage right now because I'm from the Midwest, right? I'm from the Midwest near the Mississippi, where I met my husband in college. But for the last 5 years, we were living in California. And then in the middle of the pandemic and all of that, we had a baby, decided to move back. And so this is the first winter that we are back, home for. And it's like it's winter, right? I grew up with it for 20 something years. But now that I am back here and I didn't have all this like very, winter attire, I'm kind of like rebuilding that. And remembering with the cold how important it is to have really good clothes that I can continue to be outside, right? Okay. Nature knows, you guys. Nature knows. Nature. Okay. The gold key number 5. This is the key of mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the act of being present on the current moment, being present and aware on what it is that you are doing in this very moment. When you learn how to be a more mindful person, you, I believe, are able to be more present for your life because you're more present for your day. And like I said before, how you spend your day is how you spend your life. And the more present you are, the more aware you are of, how you're feeling in your body, your responses to others, right? What it is you're doing in the moment. And this just brings a really heightened sense of fulfillment and awareness. As a new mom, I am so grateful that I've spent, the last decade really practicing, learning, and teaching about mindfulness in particular, because it's helped me to be really present and mindful with my girl. And I don't feel like time is going too quickly. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. At the end of the day, I'm not thinking like, oh, what happened? Or, wow, that just went so fast, because I was in it. I feel like I'm fully in it. I'm fully in every single moment. Yes, it feels like it's moving, right? Like, wow, time is moving. It's always moving, but I don't feel like, oh, it's going so fast and I missed it. I'm just soaking in every moment, right? And not every moment's a great moment, but every moment is my moment. It's my life. It's your life, and that's beautiful. And so we want to lean into all of the moments, right? And a really beautiful way to formally practice mindfulness, right, is meditating. And once you have gotten yourself into a meditative state and you have, you're pretty close to coming out of the meditation, my favorite favorite part, I should say, of the meditation is when you have done it and you're sitting there and you get to sit in the restful awareness, right? It's what all my teachers like to say of that part of the meditation is, now just sit in this restful awareness that you've created. And so what I love to do is then take that restful awareness, that awareness that I was able to create in my meditation, and it was also very restful, to then embody that and be that throughout the rest of my day or whatever I do next, right? So you can only imagine, right, as I'm speaking, of all the ways that if you were to be a more mindful person, how that could help you in every single area of your life. Every single area, from your home, to your family, to your relationships, to your work, to your health, to your happiness, right? Every single part of it. And the more you practice this, are practicing having more compassion for others. To take mindfulness a step further, right, is, yes, I'm being mindful and aware for myself, but I'm also doing this with the intention that it supports and uplifts everyone around me, right? And so with that intention, that is what's creating a really beautiful ripple of more people feeling better about themselves and their lives. And what we need right now more than ever is we need more people to be happier, to be genuinely happier, to be genuinely content, to be genuinely fulfilled, to be living how they want to be living, right? Because when you are a happy, genuinely happy human being, you're really fun and amazing to be around, and you don't do things to hurt other people, because hurt people, right? And so if you are working on yourself and you're improving yourself, that's only going to help everyone around you. And so this is a huge mission of mine, you guys, is to really spread a ripple of helping human beings become well-beings, because we need more well-beings. This is how we change the world. In fact, this is one of my favorite quotes. It's been on my my email signature for years. Oh my God, how long has it been? Maybe 10 years. Maybe 10 years. Okay, I'm going to pull it up right now because I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, it's a quote by the poet Rumi. "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, So I am changing myself. I love it so much. Okay. The sixth and final key to unlocking your well-being is the gold key of intention. And to me, intention is the act of thinking and being with intention, of knowing where you're going, having your aim, and living that every single day. It's not, aimlessly going through life and just wondering where life is taking you and, kind of going with the current. There is a time and place for that, for sure. But to me, it's more of, being super intentional with your life itself. What are your values? What's important to you? What do you want to experience? Where do you want to take your own life? I know that where I am today would never have happened if I was just letting life happen to me, right? I was very, very intentional with what I'm building for my life, and I continue to do that. And it hasn't always turned out exactly how I thought it would in my mind, but that's not what intention is. It's the intention to experience and feel and be a certain way, right? Because everything we want at the end of the day is really just how we want to feel, right? We think that when we get a certain thing, we're going to feel a certain way. And so I really love to, list out what it is I want and then dive deeper and say, well, what do I think these things will make me feel? And so then I lean into that feeling and allow that to be my intention of how I live my life. So very intentional about where I'm going, about what I'm creating, about what I'm building, but also not holding on so tightly that it has to be the exact thing that I think it needs to be. But knowing that it's this or something better, and life will bring me that ultimate feeling that I'm going for and after at the end of the day, right? And so how this relates to you is I want you to just really be honest with yourself and asking yourself if you are living with intention, if you feel like you're being very intentional with your life. This is your life, and it's happening right now. It's not happening next week. It's not happening next year, because they don't exist. They're not here yet. It's happening here right now. And so to be intention is to take action now in your actual actions, but in your thoughts, how you're thinking, in your energy, and how you're being, and how you're showing up, right? Knowing that every single action you take now has a ripple, right? Always asking yourself, is what I'm about to do, is what I'm doing right now, what is my intention behind it? Is this getting me closer to where I'm intending to go? Yes or no? And if it's not, then what am I doing, right? Or just asking yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to move me closer? What's my intention? Before you pick up your phone, as you pick up your phone, catch yourself. What's my intention to pick up my phone right now? Oh, if it's to intentionally check an email, then there it is. But if I'm just like mindlessly doing something, then catch yourself, right? There's so many ways to live with better intention for yourself and your life. But reflect on that, right? So I want to leave you with this quote that really helps you to think about awareness and bringing awareness into your life so that you can make these changes that you desire to make, right? So this is a quote by Darren Hardy. He was a publisher of the Success magazine, okay? And he says, picture where you are in any area right now. Now picture where you want to be. Richer, thinner, happier, you name it. The first step towards change is awareness. And if you want to get from where you are to where you want to be, you have to start to become aware of the choices that led you away from your desired destination. Become very conscious of every choice you make today so you can begin to make smarter choices moving forward. So I am going to leave you with that. For today, my friends, I basically just spent the whole episode answering the question, how do I unlock my own well-being? And these are the things that I do each and every single day. I prioritize my sleep. I prioritize eating nutritional, healthy meals. I move my body in some way every day. I live in alignment with nature. I get outside as much and as often as I can. I am present and mindful and aware of every single moment and what it is that I'm doing. And I am intentional. The night before I go to bed, I always set my intentions for my top 3 the next day. I know what I'm doing next. And I'm even intentional when I'm resting and I'm done for the day and I'm just chilling on the couch. My intention is to Netflix right now. You know what I mean? So allow yourself to ask yourself this question for you. How do you unlock your own well-being? And let this be a journey that we can take together. And my intention is that this season of the podcast will give you some inspiration, some tools, and really help you to feel super empowered with planting seeds of lasting transformation and change so that you can really improve and become even healthier, become even happier, and truly become a well-being. I will leave you at that for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week for our next episode. Thanks, everyone. Bye.